me give an introduction to Pasindu Wijesinghe. He's a third-year cybersecurity undergraduate who is going to give us an informative session about Git and GitHub. Screen is all yours, Pasindu.
Thank you, Kahana. I think I'm audible.
Yes.
To
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, welcome you all guys to ITP Guide 3.0. So listen to this part very carefully because Git and GitHub are very useful tool for you handle your project. Okay. So first of all, I will introduce myself. I am Pasindu Wijesinghe, third year cybersecurity undergraduate and also a member of MS Club of SLIIT. So here these things are we are going to talking about today. So here we are talking about what is version control and what is the basic idea behind the version control, and we are talking about Git. Then as a third topic, we are talking about Git and practical things about GitHub. Finally, I will introduce you very useful student developer pack given from GitHub. So here, what is version control? So you all guys use softwares. Think as we can divide software like application software and system softwares. So you guys use as example. To the system software, we can take Windows, then we can take operating systems. Okay, so in the operating systems, we can have as example, we can have Windows, Linux, and other operating systems, Mac OS. Likewise, all of that operating system update version by version. Think Windows update their version Windows 7 to Windows 8, then Windows 8.1 likewise. Then after they update to Windows 10, then Windows 10 also have number of versions, Windows 10 Pro, 10 Windows 10 Home likewise. Then finally last year we got latest update Windows 11 also here in the Windows and Mac OS. Then other softwares also likewise, they all update is version by version. They need to patch they need to cover the vulnerabilities in their system. They need to patch it. So in order to do that, what they do, they give some kind of updates for for us. So here, when you develop your software, I think you need to create a web application for this ITP. So you guys, when you develop your software, how you are going to update your web application step by step. So first of all, you need to create a base level. After that, you need to add new features and new versions of your web applications. Likewise, you need to update step by step your project. So in order to do that, we can use version control. So simply take this version controls help us to here I mentioned the version control is known as revision control, source control, or else source code management. So simply take that idea, this version control is a source code management system. So we can control our source code with the help of this version controls. So that is a version control. Then what is Git? Guys, Git is a version control system like that. This is a free and open source distributed system. So with the help of Git, we can control our code base. So we can update our codes. We can pull our code to the online repositories, and we can push our codes, and we can pull their code for our local repository. Likewise, so it gives number of tools for control our code base. So that is Git, guys. So here I give some kind of things about Git. So Git is founded by Linus Torvalds in 2005, who also the founder of Linux kernel. So Linus Torvalds, so he is also a founder of Linux kernel. And as I told you earlier, this Git is a version control system. So you can control your code base with the help of this Git. So you can keep track of these code changes. That means, guys, after you update your code base, you can go back with your previous versions as well with the help of this Git. So, and the finally, we can collaborate with other developers. Think in ITP mode, this ITP project, you guys have 8 members, including your team member, including your team leader. So you guys need to work together. So with when you are work together, there can be happen some issues when you are developing together. So we can solve all those issues with the help of this kind of tools like Git. So here I mentioned on online remote repository platform. So uh, first of all, I will tell you what are the remote repositories. So remote repository means, guys, repository means a kind of space. We take a small space from cloud in order to develop our code base. We can upload our code base to that space we are taken from the online space. So guys, there are a number of platforms in the industry. Here I mentioned 3 major platforms. So GitHub, Bitbucket, and GitLab. Here we are mainly focused about GitHub. So they gives us online repositories or else a cloud storage for control our source code. And they give number of tools for control our source code as well. So here, guys, what are the problems and issues if you, can happen if you don't use GitHub? GitHub or else Git, guys. Here, first of all, I will show you example. So here, guys, here I create a new folder. So this is my folder. So I open this folder with Visual Codes. So here I go to the Visual Code and I go to File. I click here Open Folder. Here in my desktop I can see my folder. Here I open it. So now this is my folder. This is my untitled folder. Here inside this I create a new file. I think this is my file.txt. This is txt file. Okay. So in this txt file, so think this is my code base. Think this is my code. Okay, this is your code. After successful code, think you need to give an update for your code. You need to add a new feature. You need to add a new function. Think in order to do that, what you're gonna do, you clear this part of your code. Then this is your updated code. Here. This is your updated code, guys. So after you create this, you close your VS Code. Then here before close it, yeah, I close it here and quit from it. So guys, again, I need to think your final update, your final version, make some errors. Think for your first your first code is work properly, but you added a new feature. Now it's make some errors. So how you change it? Again, you again you open your folder. So here I open it again. So in my desktop, here I open it again here. So now guys, you cannot trace back your code. How you go back with your code here? So if you press Ctrl Z, you cannot go back again. So now now this new version, your updated version makes errors. Now you cannot go back again your previous code. So now you need to develop your code from the beginning again. So in order to solve this, you can use GitHub, guys. So here I mentioned some other things as well. Sometimes when you develop with your team members, hard to exchange your code with your team members. Think you have team leader in your team. He create file architectures. You need to include HTML files for this folder. You need to add your CSS files for this folder. Likewise, he create a file architecture. So after he created the successful architecture, he share that file architecture with their team members. Okay, so what team members do here, they create their part in the web application. About the web application, they create their functions, then and hand over their part to the team leader. So think after that well, after that, think team after the handover. So think it your part can make some errors, or else you need to add a new part for your code base. In order to do that, what you do? So you take your code part again from the team leader. Then other people also think I need to add new feature to improve my marks in this ITP project. Likewise, they also think like that. So they also take their code part from the team leader. Then again all things are mixed together. Then team leader also doesn't know where is the latest update version about the web application. So without using tools like Git, uh, very hard to share your code with your team members. So then after that, version changing can make errors. As I show you previously here, think our updated version can make some errors, but our previous version worked properly. So this version changing, if this version changing make errors, we can go back with previous version if we use Git. But here we didn't use Git, no. So we cannot go back again. This can make some kind of errors if we don't use Git. So then again hard to find errors. So you have 8 members in your team. So guys, you don't know who changed this part in that code. Like here now there are a number of HTML files with your code base. So someone can change the same code part inside that HTML files. You cannot find who changed that code. Likewise, then hard to find errors who make that error. Likewise, it is very hard if you don't use tools like Git. So you cannot track history, as I told you earlier. Here we cannot go back again. Then again, collaborations issues. You can some kind of issues can happen if you don't use Git. So in here I mentioned an example, guys. So here new file here think this file is a Python file. Okay, this new file is a Python one. Forget about .txt. Think this is Python file. So you create a successful Python file. Here your first new file is worked properly. After that you need to add a new feature for your project, or else your Python file you need to add a new feature. So in order to do that, you are now with your previous experience with like this, now you are afraid to add new features for your Python files or else any other files. Okay, so here now what you gonna do? You create a new files to save this. You instead of update this folder, this file, new file, you create a new file. Then if this make errors, you can go back with previous files. No, so again and again, if you want to add a new features, you need to create new file if you use this method. So after number of updates, it can make number of new files when you are developing a code for new file new file final. Likewise, it can make some number of code if you don't use Git, if you use this method. So guys, yeah, as a solution, we can use Git. So I will show how to use Git with practical as well. So here, take idea. Developers can work together. Likewise, there are a number of pros in Git. So here we can developers can work together. Then again, and you can go back with your previous version. You can see your history of your code changes. Then again, likewise, there are a number of helpful tools inside the Git. You can use those things for control your code base, and you can go back, or you can if you add a new feature, you can if you add a new update. So with new codes, you can go back with your previous code if your new code makes errors. So likewise, in order to solve previous issues, we can use Git. Here, before going to the practical part, I will show you how to use in the Git. This is your local piece in the CSS and other JavaScript, all other old files here. After create those things, as the second step, what you need to do, you need to tell to the Git, these are the files I'm going to upload. That we call it as add files to staging area. We need to add our files to staging area. It means if we are adding our file staging area means we tell to the Git, these are the files I'm going to upload. So then Git know this is the files our user going to upload. Okay, that is the second step. Then as a third step, we need to take a snapshot every update. So before we push our code to the online repository, we need to take
Pasindu,
a snap.
Small interruption.
Yes,
I think screen is lagging. So can you turn off your camera and do the session again? You can continue.
Okay. How about now?
I think now it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay with me as well.
Okay. After the here as a third step, what we need to do, we need to take a snapshot. So guys, think with the help of this snapshot, we can go back with our previous code. I think if we take a snapshot every update, we can with the help of that snapshot, we can see what are the previous code base, what is our previous code base, and what is the type of that, then which code base there. Likewise, there are we can take number of informations about that code. So think what we did here. First, we create a local repository. That means we create a space in our local PC to keep our files, and then after that we tell to the Git, these are the files we are going to upload as a second step. That means we add files to the staging area. Before upload our files, or else before push our files, what we need to do, we need to take a snapshot. That means commit files. After the commit files, after take the snapshot, what we need to do, we can create an online repository. So with the help of GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket services, so we can push our code to that online repository. Or else, guys, you are not the only one developer here. You have in your team also, you have 8 members. You can pull their code from online repository to your local PC. So then again, as I told you earlier, you are only not the one developer, other developers here as well. So they also can push their code to online repository, to the same repository, and they also can pull your code base to their local PC. This is the process happen behind Git. Here, guys, in order to do that, I use GitHub here. So I will show you a practical part. So before going to the practical part, I will tell you what is GitHub, guys. GitHub is owned for Microsoft company. Here, Git and GitHub are two different things. Don't take this as the same things, guys. Think Git is the technology, and GitHub is the tool for use that technology set. So think it gives some kind of GitHub make some tool for GitHub make some tool for commit our files. GitHub make some tools for clone our files. Likewise, they give number of tools for use Git here. So Git and GitHub are two different things, guys. Here, these are the things we are going to learn with our practical part. How to create a how to create a GitHub account, and how to create a repository, how to add files to staging area, how to commit file, push files, and how to clone files from local online repository. Likewise, that are the things we are going to consider. So here I go to the GitHub main interface. This is GitHub website. So inside this is the interface you can see when you going to log in. If you have a GitHub account, you can simply sign in here. If you don't have account, you can go to sign up part and enter your details and then create an account. So I already GitHub user. Then I add a sign in here. Here I enter my username and password. So guys, this is my GitHub account. These are the repositories I have created, and here these are the repositories. Then you guys can see a button called button called new here. If you want to create a new repository, you can click this button, or else here then to top right corner you can see a plus mark here. So inside that plus mark you can see new repository. Here, if you want to create a new repository, you can click this button here as well. Here I click this new button here. So after create it, they ask some kind of information. Think when we are create a new files. Also, they ask name for that new files. So don't afraid with this interface. So this is a simple interface. You will realize these are very simple things with your hands-on experience. So first of all, what we need to do here, we need to give a repository name. So repository name is this just like file name. When we are creating new file, we need to give a name for that file. So this repository name is also like giving a name for that file. So here what we do, we are giving a name for our online storage. So here I give ITP 3.0. Here this is my repository name now. So in the description part you can explain what about this repository. So where you can explain your web application, what is your ITP project, and likewise you can explain what about your ITP project. Likewise you can add the description. It is optional. If you want, you can add a description about explaining your web application. And the next part is public and private. So if we put this as a public, then other developers also can what is this repository, and they also can what are the files inside this repository. So if we put this as a private, only you and your team members, if you assign a team members for this repository, only they can they can see what is this repository, and inside files in this repository. So I keep this as a private. If you want, you can add readme files or gitignore files. Like inside the readme files, you can add some instruction about your web application. So likewise here I click create repository button here. Inside here we can see this is our storage. This is the place we are going to store our file as in online cloud. So here don't afraid with this code base. I will tell you those things, but not this moment. We are going to upload a YouTube video how to use git bash commands in terminal. So but here we are going to GUI interface, because first time you do this you cannot sometimes you cannot understand what we are do here. So now for now we don't use git bash terminal, we are using only GUI interface. So don't think those commands here. So get in touch with our MS Club YouTube channel, then you can see our latest updated videos about these related those things. So guys, now if you want, you can here this is the issue part. If you want, you can create some issues. I will show you our MS Club account as well. Here guys, you can see settings part. Inside the settings, this is our repository name. If you want, you can rename it. And so you guys, if you want, you can, after create your repository, you can change the visibility. That means if you create this as a private, after successful project, you can put this as a public. Likewise, so if you want, you can delete the repository. Then collaborators, inside the settings we can see collaborators. So inside that we can add a collaborator. Always in your team here you can add your team members for for this repository, then they also can collaborate for your repository. Think here, I click this add people. I'm going to add a Senuraya here. Senu, here this is Senuraya. I add Senuraya here. So our invitation is pending. He need to accept our invitation to collaborate with this repository. So these are the things I need to explain here. So guys, I will show you our MS Club account as well. Here, here, guys, you can see your profile here. Inside, when you click your profile, you can see number of links to directions. Here, guys, we can see our repositories, our profiles, and here we have your organizations. So yeah, I will click it here. I am a member of MS Club of SLIIT. So here, there inside the organizations, we can see my organization. Here, I go. Sorry. So, guys, this is our MS Club SLIIT GitHub account. So these are the repositories we have created. So I will show you our MS Club backend repository. So here, guys, we can see 6 issues we have created. There is one project. So this is the files we have created inside the backend. So inside the issues, guys, you can see these are the issues we have created. Here we can add the tags for these issues. So add the labels actually. So this issue is medium priority. This issue is high priority. So if we need to add a new issue, we need to click this new issue button, and it directs us to the new page. Here, inside that, you can add a title for the project or its issue, and you can explain what is the issue here. So I'm not going to add the issue here, and here, guys, we can see. I will show you what are the projects inside our repository. Here there is one project here. If you want, guys, you can add a project as well there. Here we can see a MS Club backend API project. So inside that, I will show you our Kanban charts. Here, this is our Kanban chart. So here we have 4 things to do and 4 things in progress, and we have done 129 things here. Then these things are very high priority things we need to update, and this is our backend. Like these are the in progress things. So guys, this is GitHub. You guys can use this for your project as well. Here I go to my home page. Guys, I will show you how to install Git for your local PC. So in order to do that, simply search git bash download. Here inside that download, you can see you need to select your version here. If you are Mac user, you can use Mac version here, or else Windows and Linux versions are also available. After you download, you can use a GitHub git bash inside your within your PC. So I'm not going to explain how to download those things and install. So you can download this from in this website. Okay, now here, guys, this is the repository I have created. So I will show you how to use this repository, how to upload the file for this repository. I think this is our code base. No? So here I mentioned what are the steps we need to do. We need to create a local repository or else local space. So in order to do that, so think this is, first of all, again I add my code. So think this is my code. This is my code. So after that, this is your code. So as the first step, you need to create a local repository. So in order to do that, I click this source control button. So inside the source control button, we can initialize repository. This is our first step. We need to create a repository, our local PC. So I click this initialize repository button. So inside that, as a second step, what we need to do, we need to add files to the staging area. That means we need to tell to the JIT, these are the files we are going to upload. So in order to do that, VS Code gives us a feature, this plus button. You need to click this plus button here. Now it adds to the state changes. So we add our files to the staging area. Now before push our files, we need to take a here we say we need to take a snapshot. So as technical term is a commit file. So in order to add in order to take a commit file, so what we need to do here, we need to give a name for that snapshot. So this is my first commit. Now I give here first commit. So this is my first commit. Now I give a commit. I add commit file. So we need to click this right button here. So now we do until this part. Okay, we did until this part. So before push these files, we need to create this our local repository and our online repository. So this is our online repository space now. Then this is our local repository space. So we need to connect those two repositories. So in order to do that, you need to click this three dots here. Inside that dots, you can see a remote branch. Inside the remote branch, you can see add remote button here. You need to click it. So then it asks a URL. So we need to add our online repository URL. So here this is our URL, guys. You need to simply copy it. You can click this here and paste it here. Now this is your URL. What you need to do here, you need to click enter or else press this link again. So after that, we need to add a remote name. Remote name is origin. Our remote name. We need to add origin main. So I simply copy this here and paste it here again. I press enter. Now our codes, our branches are we connect our branches. So here I push I as a final step, what I am going to do here, I push these files to our online repository. So I publish branch here. So now it is published. So here now, guys, we can see we need to refresh this GitHub. Now guys, we can see our uploaded file here. Here inside we have one commit. We added only one snapshot. So here if I see commits, here we have one commit. Inside the commit we can see our code changes. So there are no code changes here. This is my first code here. Now I need to update my code. So in order to update, now you need to add a new feature. As with previous example, we didn't trace back our code. So now what we're gonna do, we need to update our code. So think this is updated code. This is your updated code. Now again we need to add our files to staging area. Again we need to tell to the JIT, these are the files I'm going to upload. Then again you need to commit those files. It means you need to take that snapshot. With the help of that snapshot, we can trace back our code base. So in order to add files, I click this plus button here. So I add our files to staging area. Then again we need to commit our files. So in order to commit files, I need to add a name for commit. This is my second commit. This is my second commit, and I add a right mark. I need to click this commit button here after add a name. So it is committed. Then what I need to do here, again I need to push my code. So press OK here. Now it is pushed. So again, I need to refresh this. Here, guys, I'm going to code. Here now you guys can see 2 commits here. So inside the commits again, now we can see first commit and second commit as well. So this is now you guys can see this red color highlighted part is our first code. Then this green color highlighted part is our updated code. Now with the help of Git, we can trace back our code. Now you can see with previous example, we didn't go back with our code changes. No. So but here we use Git. Now we can go back with our previous versions as well. So here I use only text files. So when you developing with your HTML and CSS files, you guys can use those files for you guys can use those features for your to control your code base. Yeah, that are the things I need to explain. Then again, finally, I will explain about a resource package given from Git. So in order to take that GitHub student developer pack, you need to log into the course web first. So I add my username and password. So inside the course web, we can see resource tab here. Inside the resource tab, we can see GitHub student developer pack. So you need to go there. So guys, here this is the interface GitHub student developer pack. If you are already a user, you can simply sign in from here, or else if you don't have account, you can create this account with your IT mail. Here you need to sign up with your IT mail to student developer pack. So these are the features you can get from this student developer pack. There are a number of tools and technologies and features here, so you can take all of these from here. So use those things for your education purposes as well as your projects. Yeah guys, that are the things I need to explain for you. Then again, finally I need to tell you guys, if you have any question, you can send me an email. So guys, this is not just an assignment for you. Take this as an opportunity to introduce yourself to the industry. So guys, don't be afraid. You need to manage your time with your team members as well. You need to collect, you need to take meetings, and you need to work together for this kind of assignment. So good luck all of you guys. My session is over now. I hand over my session to Gahana. Gahana, now you can take the screen.
Sure. Thank you so much, Pasindu. That was an awesome session. So guys, through Git, you get to share your codes with your buddies. Sharing is caring, guys. So share the codes and help each other out and grow together. Once again, thank you for the awesome session.